If you love Apple Notes as much as I do, then you definitely don't want to miss this video because I'm going to reveal the most powerful keyboard shortcuts I know, and they're going to transform how you use Notes forever. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer, and in this video we're going to focus on Apple Notes. There's a ton of powerful keyboard shortcuts that work for Notes that make it easy for you to format notes, create notes, organize notes, and more. And I'm going to share all of those key codes with you. But don't leave before hearing my MacWhisperer Power Tip, where I'm going to drop 5 separate key codes, each one of which is a complete game changer. Let's hop on over to the computer and get started. We're going to learn a ton of new key codes today. So to keep it easy to remember and easy to organize, we're going to do them in separate categories. Our first category is creating and viewing notes. The very first key code we're going to learn is how to create a new note. When you're inside Notes, you can always come up to this button right here on the toolbar to create a new note. But you don't really have to do that. If you learn the key code Command+N, it's just one click away for you to create a new note just like that. Command+N works in all sorts of applications, but it's extremely valuable in Notes where it lets you get right into the note and get right down to business. The second one we want to learn is how to create a folder in Notes. Well, it's true, you can come down to this New Folder button down here, or you can come into the File menu and go to New Folder here. But notice what we see to the right of New Folder? That's right, there's a key code that is Shift plus Command plus N. And that will create a new folder. In fact, it'll even give you the option of making that folder a smart folder if you like. So between Command plus N and Shift plus Command plus N, you can make new notes and create folders to organize them. Our third keyboard shortcut is how you duplicate a note. There are times where you've got a note, like this note I've got here, and I need to make a duplicate of it so I can work on it without losing the original. Now, I could always copy this note and then create a new note and then paste it, but it's much easier to just use the key code Command+D to duplicate this note. The next thing we want to talk about is how you view notes. And sometimes you may need to increase or decrease the font size of a particular part of a note. Let's highlight this section. And I can increase the size of it by doing Command and the plus button, just like this. Command plus makes it bigger. Command minus makes it smaller. When you do this, you're adjusting the font size of that particular part of the note. It's very, very helpful, but sometimes you need to increase the size of an entire note. Maybe you're on a laptop or a small screen, and you want to zoom in on everything. You don't want to affect the font because that's going to actually change the way the document looks and prints. And it's easy to zoom in on a document by using Command plus Shift plus the period to make it bigger, or the comma to make it smaller. This is a quick and easy way to zoom in or zoom out on any note without having to change the font or the format. And the last key code we're going to talk about in this section allows us to change our view from the list view, which is what we're in right now, which shows all of the notes in a nice scrolling list like this, versus the gallery view, which shows us our notes visually, allowing us to see the attachments in the pictures even easier. You can easily change between list view and gallery view by using Command+1 for list view and Command+2 for gallery view. Why would you want to use gallery view instead of list view? In some cases, the notes that you're looking at are visual. Like this folder of my writing, each separate note has its own image. So changing from list view into gallery view makes it much easier for me to scroll through these images and find exactly the poem that I want to read or look into. Gallery and list view are both very helpful for different reasons, and Command+1 gets you right into list view, while Command+2 gets you right back into gallery view. Now that we've gotten ourselves warmed up, let's step into section number 2, formatting key codes. These formatting key codes are going to make it easy for you to bold, italicize, underline, or even change the style of anything inside of a note. Now, when you're in a note, you can change those formats by clicking on this big and little a here. And you'll see the bold, italic, underline, and highlight options right here. But you can simply select a line like this and use Command B to immediately bold or unbold any part of your document. You can use Command I to italicize, and you can use Command U to underline or remove the underline from any part of your document. So once you get good at it, it's easy for you to take a section of your document and underline it, bold it, and italicize it without ever grabbing your mouse. In addition to that, in the latest operating system, Apple released a new tool called the highlighter. And the highlighter can use all sorts of different colors to make a part of your document stand out. You can always highlight any part of your document, come up to the formatting tool here, and select the color in order to highlight something. But if you know the key code, select the text that you want to change, and then Command plus Shift plus E will automatically highlight that section. Remember that there are multiple different highlighter options here. Unfortunately, you can't change the color via the key code, so you may need to come up to the formatting toolbar to change to a different color like blue. But once you've changed it, as soon as you highlight items and use your Shift Command E, you can highlight that section, helping it to pop out in this document easily. In addition to those basic formatting tools, you can also change the size of your font by selecting any text and using Command plus Shift plus plus or minus in order to make it bigger or smaller. But that's not really the best way to adjust your text and your font. There's a completely different way to do it, and in this case, it doesn't even exist on the toolbar. You have to come into the Format menu, all the way down to the Font submenu and over to where it says Show Fonts. Notice the key code to the right, Command plus T. I remember it by thinking Command plus Text. So when you're in a note, Command plus T will bring up this awesome little text box, and this will allow you to select any part of your note and change any font you've got on your computer. Simply selecting the font right here, you can also change the size by either using the numbers or by using this little scroll bar here to make it smaller or bigger, super simply. You can even change the color of your text by clicking on this box right here, which brings up a color panel. And from this color panel, you can choose almost any color to change your text. So if you find that the highlighter is a little bit restrictive with only a handful of colors, from the computer you can select anything you want and change it to any color you want with just a couple of clicks by using Command plus T. And now that we've learned those formatting tools, let me teach you the most powerful formatting tool of all. When you're working with different text, you'll change your font and your size and your color and your style. But it's really frustrating to have to open up the text box to find the right font and the right color and the right size when you've already discovered that. I really like this font style and size that I have here. So I'm going to copy that style and paste it into other parts of the document. To do that without the key code, I'd have to come up to the Format menu here, and then all the way down to the Font section here, and then down to where it says Copy Style or Paste Style. But we can do it much easier by using the key code. First off, let's select the text that we like, and then let's use Option plus Command plus C. That's going to copy this text style to our clipboard, just like that. Now let's come to any other part of the document and select it, and we'll use Option plus Command plus V to paste that style right onto this new section. And this makes it so easy for you to take any style and paste it wherever you want to on any note. And for the last formatting key codes, we're going to learn how to change the alignment of our text. Now, right now, as we see this block of text, everything is aligned to the left, which is fine, but what if I wanted to center it? There's 3 separate key codes. One is align left, the other one is align center, and the last one is align right. The first key code is Shift plus Command plus left bracket, and that's what we're going to use for left aligning. The second one is Shift plus Command plus what's called the pipe. That's the straight up and down line that looks like this. And the third one is Shift plus Command plus the right bracket. So if I use Shift plus Command plus the pipe, notice that it centers everything. If I use Shift plus Command plus the right bracket, it right aligns it, and Shift plus Command plus the left bracket left aligns it. The next section of key codes is paragraph styles and lists. Inside of notes, there's several different styles that we can use to make our notes look perfect. If you click on the formatting button here, you'll see many of them. There's our title style, our heading style, our subheading style, the body style, bullet list, dash list, numbers list, and more. But we can trigger most of those by using the right key codes. One of the most valuable changes to notes in the most recent operating system is the ability to do what is called collapsible headers. Collapsible headers allows you to take something like this section of text here, and by clicking the arrow to the left, hiding what's underneath it so that you can look at a complicated note without all of that additional information getting in the way. I use collapsible headers all the time, and you can use collapsible headers with the title style, the heading style, or the subheading style, and it works hierarchically. So by using this here, I've got this heading style and I've got the arrow to the left. As soon as I click that arrow to the left, it hides everything underneath that until it gets to the next header. Underneath that header is a subheader. If I choose the arrow to the left of the subheader, it's going to hide everything until I get to the next subheader. By using collapsible headers, you can take a very complicated note and simplify it by closing down some of the sections to make it easier to see what you're looking for. Now let's learn how to create paragraph styles with nothing but our key codes. To do that, come into this note right here. The first thing I want to do is change this part of the document to the title style. To do that, highlight it and use Command plus Shift plus the letter T, just like that. And you'll notice it made it a little bit larger, and if we check on our formatting bar, that is now in the title style. Next up, this separate section here is a header. So to turn it into a header, do Command plus Shift plus the letter H, just like that. And again, it changes the style of the font and makes it a little bit larger, but more importantly, over to the left, it gave us this arrow. Now, if I click that arrow, it's going to close anything that is not a header, just like that. Right now, there's no other headers, so let's create another header. Let's come down to this section right here, highlight it, and Command plus Shift plus H to make that a header. Now if I collapse this header, it will close it until it gets to the next header right there. Now that we understand titles and headers, let's work with subheaders. This here is a subheader. It's a separate section within this particular topic. So to change it into a subheader, I'm going to use Command plus Shift plus the letter J. Now I can come in here and grab this as a subheader as well, just like this. Command plus Shift plus J. Now I can close the subheader, and all of the body and text underneath them just collapses inside of them, allowing me to have a very easy view where I've got my topic here and the subheadings, and I can do the same thing with additional topics. So you can make something a title with Command plus Shift plus T, like this, or a header with Command plus Shift plus H, or a subheader with Command plus Shift plus J. And lastly, if you need to reset the style for anything, you can always change it to the standard default style, which is this one here, the body style. And it's very easy to do that by highlighting whatever you want to change, and then Command plus Shift plus, yep, you guessed it, B, will change that into the body format. But that's not the only kind of formatting you can do with simply your key codes. So we're going to come over here, and let's say that this list here, I wanted to make it bullet points. Now, I can come up to the formatting button and come down and select bulleted list or dash list or numbers list. But you can also do it by key code. Simply select the text that you want to change, and Command plus Shift plus 7 will make it a bulleted list. Command plus Shift plus 8 will make it a dashed list. And Command plus Shift plus 9 will make it a numerical list. So whether you want bullets, dashes, or numbers, it's super easy for you to do that without ever having to touch your mouse. And the most important kind of list of all is the checklist. You'll notice up here we've got the ability to click the checklist button in order to make something a checklist. But again, you can do it directly from your keyboard if you know the right command, which is Command plus Shift plus L for list, just like that. And that will give you a checklist. But don't forget, you can also take any checklist and turn it into a bullet list with Command plus Shift plus 7, a dash list with Command plus Shift plus 8, or a numerical list with Command plus Shift plus 9. Pretty amazing stuff so far, right? You've learned how to create notes with nothing but a key code, create folders, you've learned how to format, you've learned how to change style and color, you've learned how to adjust your text, and you've even learned how to do multiple different kinds of lists. But trust me, the 5 key codes I'm about to share are going to blow you away. Before I reveal them, if you've already gotten great value from this video, give it a thumbs up. That makes it so much easier for other people to find this video. And if you've got a question or a comment, did I miss one of your favorite key codes, or is there another one you'd like to share? Just drop it in that comments section. I love to hear from you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, unfortunately I don't have a key code for that. But it's still really simple. Hit that subscribe button and that notify bell so you're always alerted whenever I drop new content. And now, without further ado, let's hit the most powerful key code of all, the Power Tip. The first key code is one that I use absolutely every day. Whenever I'm working in notes, I love to add emojis, and it's easy to get to your emoji keyboard by using Control plus Command plus your spacebar. When you do, you'll open up the emoji panel, which will give you all sorts of sections for you to find animal emojis, sports emojis, or you can come into the search section right here where you can put in any emoji that you're looking for and find the perfect emoji quickly. The next key code is super useful and comes up all the time. If you've ever copied and pasted web links, you know that sometimes they're a mess. They look like this. They're this super long link and it's just ugly to look at. I don't want to see that in my note, which is where we've got a great key code that will allow us to add a link to any text, just like this. So here I've got this fun socks to buy line. Highlight the line and use the key code Command plus K, which allows us to add any link in. This will let me put that long and ugly link right into here and click OK, and now this little line here is connected to that web link. If I simply click on this line, it's going to open up my browser to these fun socks that I want to buy without it looking ugly like this. All right, for our third Power Tip key code, this one is super cool. This note that we're looking at right here is a list of all of the YouTube videos that I'm planning to make in the future. But this note right here is the script for this YouTube video. So I would like to be able to reference the script within the list of all of the other videos that I've got. And it's very easy to do by coming into any note and using the greater than symbol twice, just like this, greater than, and you'll notice it automatically opens up a list of recently used notes. If we come down here, we'll see this note, and if I click on that, it's going to link this note to that note. Now, when I click over here, it's going to open up the other note easily. A special tip for you, if you are going to link a note to another note, it's really helpful to link back to the original note so that you can go from one note to the other. So let's do that again. Greater than, and this time it's the one that says YT new YouTube videos. But just for clarity, if you just start typing, it's going to find all of the notes with whatever title you bring in. And this is going to link me to that other note. So now I can click this link here to go to the main list, or this link to go to the script. And I can easily move from one list to the other just by using these links. Keep in mind, if you share a note with somebody else, you will need to share the linked note as well, or the link will be broken. Our fourth power tip has saved me hours upon hours, especially when copying from ChatGPT into notes. You see, sometimes when you do that, it'll give weird characters and weird little pieces that I've got to come in and manually correct. But you don't need to do that because the two key codes we're going to talk about make it simple. The first one is Command plus F, and Command plus F stands for find. You know that you can find any note by clicking on the search bar right here and typing in anything you're looking for. It'll pull up any note that fits that search. But what do you do when you want to search for something within a note? Well, it's easy to do. All you have to do is Command plus F, which brings up a search for this note. And anything that you type into this search, it will find it anywhere it shows up in this note. And over to the right side, you're going to notice this little checkbox that says Replace. Clicking that will allow you to search for one word and replace it with something else, which is extremely helpful when you're trying to reformat a note. For example, we can see this dash here and it shows up all over this note. What I'm going to do is select the dash and copy it. Command C is copy. Now come up to the Find section and paste it. It finds all the places in this note where it has that dash. Now in the Replace section, I'm just going to leave it blank and replace all. And it's going to replace all of those dashes with a blank line just like that. And you can use it to fix all sorts of formatting issues. For example, here's a bullet point that's not quite formatted properly. If I highlight it and copy it and paste it up here, I can replace all of those bullet points with a blank line or any emoji of my choosing. Simply click the Replace All button and everything is changed immediately. Now we did all of that by using Command plus F. But if you know that you're going to replace things, use Shift plus Command plus F, which brings up the search and the replace field automatically, making it easy for you to take anything that you don't like in a document, copy it, paste it up here, click one button, and replace it immediately all over that document. Now, trust me when I say I saved the best for last. The amazing thing about this 5th power tip is that I didn't know about it until earlier this week. When I'm dealing with a list like this, sometimes I need to change the order of the list. So if I wanted this section to be higher up in this list, there's not a lot of options. I can cut it, Command X, and move to where I want it to be, and paste it, Command V, but it kind of leaves a mess in its wake. What I learned this week is you can put your cursor next to any line and press and hold the Control and Command buttons and use your arrow keys to move any part of any note up or down without affecting anything else. This allows you to reorganize a list super simply. And let me tell you, learning that particular key code has saved me hours this week alone. And that's what I call a key code mic drop. So that's what I've got for today's video, all about how to use key codes to simplify creation, organization, and formatting of Apple Notes. I hope you learned something new, but remember, there's always more to learn. Check out this video over here for even more game-changing tips and tricks about how to make the most out of your Apple products. I'm Dylan Stewart, the Mac Whisperer, and I'll see you in the comments.